Alright, what's up guys? Today we're talking squats, we're talking back squats, front squats, we got all kinds of squats, so we're going to be talking about squats. Let's get to it. Alright guys, back squat first. Let's talk about a little bit of setup here, a little bit of movement mechanics. So I walk up to the bar, the first thing that I'm thinking about is my setup, right? So I'm thinking about my setup strategy. I walk up to the bar, first thing I like to do is set up my grip. So I go thumbs length away from the bar right here, right at this little edge. You'll see on most bars we'll have this. So I just put my thumb grip right there. I roll my thumbs under, I make sure that it's a nice equal grip, and then from there I'm going to externally rotate my shoulders. What that means essentially is turning my hands just over like that, right? That leads to a good stable position for the shoulder. So tucking those thumbs under, externally rotating the shoulder. I like to roll the barbell back in the rack, get it set. Then from there I'm going to go through my bracing strategy with my knees. So I'm going to externally rotate that same kind of mechanic at my feet. So I'm just rotating outwards, screwing my feet into the ground. So imagine your feet are screws and you're twisting them into the ground. You don't have to move them to the outside so much as you're just really trying to get that knee position stable. From here, I go ahead and step under the barbell. I make sure that my core is tight, my feet are equal. I squeeze my glutes and I stand up. As I back up with this barbell, I'm going to go through that bracing strategy again, right? So I'm going to make sure my elbows are down. I'm going to make sure my grip is externally rotated. Glutes are squeezed, core is tight. And then from here, when I do the squat, the first thing I'm going to think about is sending my hips back into that squat. So I'm going to think about sitting down into a chair, sending my hips back, keeping those shins nice and vertical, back stays flat, coming to at least a 90-degree angle, and then extending up from there, right? Back down, and up. Alright guys, moving on, let's talk front squats. So, we got two different variations of the front squat we're going to go over, two different grip variations rather. So, walking up for the first variation, I'm doing a bodybuilding style variation of the grip, right? So the difference is between the two grips, the one bodybuilding style grip is coming up under the bar this way, where I'm grabbing the bar from underneath, just like this, supporting with my hands. It's a little bit easier on the wrists than the other lift that we'll show, the other variation of doing it. The other variation would be more of an Olympic style grip, where I'm coming up under the bar this way, keeping my hands on the bar, and gripping this way here, right? Where my hands come under, my elbows stay high, just like that. The reason why people will train that lift is if they're competing in more maybe an Olympic style lifting, like an Olympic competition. Maybe CrossFitters will do this a lot, where they're catching a squat clean, coming up under the bar here, and then they have to land in that front squat position. So, if you're not doing any training styles like that, and this is the way that I prefer, because it's a little bit easier on my wrists, I feel like I'm not getting as much wrist pain. If you see that bottom of the Olympic position there, you kind of get a little bit of rollback on the wrists, and over time that can cause a little bit of pain in there. So, if you don't have the wrist mobility for that, let's talk about that bodybuilding style grip, right? So I'm balancing this bar right between my front delt and the middle of my clavicle right here. There's a little divot in my muscle right there that I'm aiming to put that bar right inside of. And now, gripping over the bar here, supporting with my hands, standing up, going through that same bracing strategy as the back squat that we covered. So, squeezing the abs, squeezing the glutes, externally rotating at the feet. And now from here I'm going to sit back into that squat and then lead with my elbows as I go up. For the Olympic style variation, I'm gripping a little bit narrower than my back squat. So with my back squat, I did my thumb length away from the bar, from this little edge right here. On this one, I usually put my index finger right in there. So I like to go a little bit narrower on this one. Stepping up to the bar, rolling those wrists right under, stepping up, coming back, keeping those elbows high, going through that bracing strategy, externally rotating, abs tight, glutes squeezed. Now I'm just going to sit back into that squat, and again, drive with those elbows up as I keep my back nice and flat. Down, and up. And then re-racking that bar. Alright, we'll include some demonstrations for you guys. Alright guys, there you have it. 2 variations of the squat. We've got the back squat and the front squat, and the 2 variations of the grip for that front squat. If you guys liked the video, if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll try and upload as many tutorials of workouts as we can going forward into the future, and I'll see you guys next time.